Hey viewers, I'm Eden and welcome to my blog, 20somethingsouls.wordpress.com. My blog is centered around college and young adult life experiences we all share. My aim as a positive lifestyle sort of blog is to impart wisdom, offer support, and supply some useful wellness tips, all with an emphasis on positivity. The theme of today's question and answer session is love and relationships. My special guest blogger is Shar, editor of shadeswithshar.wordpress.com. Say hey.
Hey.
And we'll both take turns answering the questions. In the spirit of self-help, we will offer a list of 10 ways to handle a situationship turned sour at the conclusion of our session. Okay, so to me, I feel like thirsty is unwanted advances. So I feel like that's when somebody is continuously like pushing their luck, or they're like kind of pushing up on you, or they're making all these advances that you're not particularly comfortable with. So I don't think anything date-wise, if you guys are both in the same place about where you're going and where you're headed, should be considered thirsty. Like, I don't feel like if I'm attracted to you and you're attracted to me and we're both vibing on the same level and the communication is consistent and we're both in the same place, I don't think I can perceive it as thirsty. I think thirsty only comes about when like one party is essentially doing too much or doing the most, as we would say. Like, I just feel like thirsty is an aggressiveness behind, sometimes it can be nice because a lot of people can like overwhelm you with how much they like you. That can be considered thirsty. A lot of times for me, I would consider thirsty when it's just like completely abandons anything that makes sense, when it completely abandons rules of respect, and it's just like, you know, here's a compliment, I'm throwing it at you, you should feel, you know, some type of way about it. So in terms of establishing the status of your relationship, I think that whatever you two are comfortable with should just be what you two are comfortable with. I don't think that you have to think about whether or not it's considered thirsty. Like I know a lot of guys that when they get in a relationship, they'll continuously post, you know, every Wednesday the same girl. And I mean, some people might perceive that as thirsty, but if that's something that he's comfortable with, and you as a girlfriend, if you feel like I'm okay with this, I think that I like that he's showing his dedication of love, I don't see why that would be considered thirsty. So I think that as long as you guys are on the same page, there's no real need to be trying to define to anybody whether or not you guys are thirsty with each other. I think if anybody's upset with seeing that, they gotta assess what's wrong with them and why they feel so offended by your displays of love. That's my opinion.
Well, I agree with all of that. To answer the question a little more directly, if you literally want to know how to go about I guess not confronting, but just wanting to reach out to your partner of interest, I would say. Let's just say that, because I don't know the status of your relationship.
Right.
You know, I would say just simply ask them. You know, this isn't the fourth grade where we're writing, you know, do you want to go out with me, and yes or no, or then, you know, circle one. You know,
right.
At this point, and in this generational era, it's just easier for everyone to just be direct, you know, not try to get your homegirl to lurk through his best friend's page and, you know, see what he doing at X and Y, Z. Like, you know, if you, but again, like the status of your relationship is extremely subjective, because what you think might be for you on his side, he could think is something completely different. Mm-hmm. So in order to end all of that potential conflict, just simply ask him, hey, it might sound a little cliche, but hey, seriously, like, where do we stand? Because if, you know, as I say like all the time, like, I value my time. So you have to value your time too. Who else is going to value your time if you don't? Who's going to respect you if you don't? You know, just cut to the chase and just simply let this partner of interest know, like, right. Listen, I like you. Here's X and Y and Z and Y. You know, I'm picking up that you're feeling the same way, which is why I'm coming to you with this question. But I would like a little reciprocation here, or maybe a little confirmation, some comfort, you know, whatever it is that you're looking for. Just reach out and
just a special emphasis on that respectfulness and respecting those boundaries that another person has. Just because you feel so overwhelmed with emotions and overcome and you just want to pour it out, you have to kind of think about how they're going to feel receiving that information. So I know for me, thirstiness is kind of like when a guy is like, oh, your body is like this or that, or like, it just, I don't understand how they're expecting me to respond to that kind of advance. I feel like that's too forward. So like she said, just keep it, you know, open, honest, express the fact that you're interested, If they're showing signs of disinterest, I wouldn't push it, because I think that's really when it becomes thirsty as well. When somebody's like, I'm not comfortable with that, or I don't think I feel the same way, and you're still trying to push, or like if you're trying to, which is my pet peeve, when people force flirt with you, like you're just texting and you're just like, hey, and then like, what you're doing, you're like, I'm in bed, and then like, without me? Oh no.
Pick up on the cues. And if this is truly a partner of interest, you should have an idea of what they like and don't like. So just pick up on the cues. If you see that there's a change of behavior, just let it rock. And like she said, dead it. Yeah. Leave that alone. Okay. So to start off, just to give a little definition of unrequited love is when, basically, in the simplest of terms, you love someone, but they don't love you back. They don't reciprocate the feeling. They just not feeling it. You're putting 100, they put 0, and you're pretty much stuck in this position where, you're in love with someone, but there's no sense of, there's no reciprocation. So it's just this middle ground that you're stuck in. So, to deal with unrequited love, I don't know. I see it as, just for me, it's not something that you would deal with. It's something that you just, you carry it like every other, bad time in your life. And then, eventually as you continue to move forward and keep on living and you just keep doing you, it'll subside eventually. I mean, I know, love is different, but, eventually, we all, with all bad breakups and whatnot, it'll subside, whatever. My thing is to move past it for unrequited love. I would say just continue to live your life as you have before they were there. As in no stalking on social media once again, not getting your homegirl to stalk them on social media, things like that. Try not, try. If you keep repeating an action, eventually it'll just become like memory, So it's just try your best not to think about them throughout the day. Remember yourself. Put the emphasis on yourself. Remember yourself when they weren't around. Separate, the two. Like, how to say love can become one. You just gotta separate that and just, become yourself again. Become that one again. Reestablish the things that you love to do before them. Hell, figure out new things that you want to do without them, so you can be, build on yourself and be a better you.
Right. I definitely agree with everything that you said. I'm trying to channel some of my own past experiences to think about things that I had to do dealing with terrible breakups, because I've been through quite a lot. Some even with people that I was never in a relationship with. So that's like one of the harder ones, when you fought for somebody that's maybe your best friend or somebody that's just close to you, and obviously that's an unrequited love because they didn't even intentionally see you that way to begin with. So for me personally, my first step always is just to erase them from any media or anything like that, because I don't need that consistent reminder when I'm going through my process of healing. Not to say that I don't care about them anymore, or that I want them to know that I'm disrespecting them. It just helps me personally, because it's kind of like that out of sight, out of mind sort of mentality, and when I don't have to be constantly reminded of that, I can get through it a little easier. Aside from that, she's right about grounding yourself. You have to really remember who you were prior to whatever relationship that was or wasn't, because sometimes it wasn't a relationship, sometimes it was just something you kind of saw in your head that didn't come to fruition. So I think it's important to ground yourself and remember all the things that you were before that person, all the things you used to do, the way that you felt. And I think sometimes, especially within this generation, we place a lot of emphasis on feeling like whatever we have might be the forever. It might be the thing, it might be the one. And that's kind of short-sighted, because we're all relatively young. We have so much of our lives ahead of us. And it's not that you can't meet the one right now, but sometimes, relationships come like seasons. There's a time where it's good, there's a time where it's bad, there's times where things are great and they fade out, and you just kind of have to adjust your life accordingly. So I have to always remind myself to stay within the rhythm of that and just know, okay, this is a bad time now, maybe this is not the right person, maybe this is, things fall apart for better things to fall into place. I hate cliche sayings like that, especially when you're going through it, you really don't want to hear that from anybody, but I feel like that's something over time that you can look back and start to really agree with. I know of all the past relationships I've had, there's not anybody that I want to go back to. Sorry if you watching this video, but I know that everything that I experienced back then is something that was okay for that time period and who I was at that point in my life. And if it didn't work for a reason. One of my favorite sayings in Liberian culture is, what's for you will see your face, and I firmly believe in that. So whatever's meant for you will come to pass, and if it's unrequited, maybe it's that way for a reason. And it's like, I'm not saying that it's the easiest thing to get over. Lord knows it takes some time. You gotta cry it out, get through it. But when you get beyond that moment, things get a little easier. So you just have to keep yourself thinking about where you're gonna be in the future, and that there's more out there for you. If that's not it, if
it was meant to happen, it would have happened.
10 ways to handle a situationship turned sour. Realistically assess where you stand. Trust your instincts. Define clear boundaries. Remember your individuality. Keep yourself busy. The past is in the past. Don't dwell. Regret nothing. Heed the lesson. Don't beat yourself up. Never settle for less than you know you want and deserve.
That's all we have for today's post. Thank you very much for watching. Please continue to refer back to my blog. That's 20somethingsoul.wordpress.com for more content from myself. Hopefully, Shar from Shades with Shar.wordpress.com will be another feature. Maybe I can get some other people to come and give some other perspectives. But I appreciate you for sticking through this talk on love and situationships. Please come back again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.